So in this lecture, we will be seeing about control measures of industrial waste. So the control measures of industrial waste follow the following two approaches. The control measures of industrial waste follows the following two approaches. So which are the two approaches? The first approach is prevention. That is prevention of industrial waste. And the second approach is control of environment pollution. Now, so we'll be starting with the first one, that is prevention. Now the first point in prevention is it is an approach of minimizing the waste. It is an approach of minimizing the waste. The waste minimization technique. So how to minimize the waste? The waste minimizing technique it can be grouped into four categories. So this technique can be grouped into following four categories. Into following four categories. So which are those four categories? The first one is inventory management and improved operation. Inventory management and improved operation. So this is the first technique. Second one is modification of equipments. Modification of equipments. The third one is production process change. Production process change. And the last one is recycling and reuse. Recycling and reuse. Now in these control measures, all the disposal methods will come. So for the disposal of industrial waste, we will be generally using landfilling method, incineration method, and composting method. So depending upon the type of waste, we will be selecting one of the disposal methods. Now in this prevention approach, there are four techniques which needs to be studied separately. So first is inventory management and improved operation, then modification of equipments, third production process change, and the last one is recycling and reuse. Now we'll start with the first one, that is inventory management and improved operations. So inventory management and improved operations. So now what are the activities which are present in this technique? So what are the activities that needs to be followed? So we'll write point by point. So these include the following activities. The first activity is making inventory and tracing of raw materials. Making inventory and tracing of raw materials. Now, what is the exact meaning of inventory? So, you can just visualize it like this, that inventory is nothing but the amount of stock which is present for the utilization. That means if you want to do concreting of a slab, then is the sufficient amount of shuttering available? Is the sufficient amount of cement available? Is the sufficient amount of fine aggregates and coarse aggregates available? So that comes in your inventory. Okay. Similarly, these raw materials are nothing but whatever the raw materials are required. So the first step includes making the inventory and tracing all the raw materials. So whatever the things are required, the exact things, so we should prepare a proper inventory list and trace all the raw materials, like which material is going where, so that there is less wastage of materials. Now second is purchase of few toxic materials and more non-toxic materials. Purchase of few toxic materials and more non-toxic materials. The third point is implementation of employees training, implementation of employees training and management feedback. So whatever the employees are working, so they should be given proper training regarding the industrial waste generation and its harmful effects, so that there is minimization of, or we can say prevention of, generation of industrial waste. The last point in this is improving material receiving, storage and handling practices. So improving material receiving, storage and handling practices. So these are some of the steps or activities that should be followed, and this all comes in under inventory management and improved operations. Now we'll start the second technique, that is modification of equipment. Modification of equipment. So these include the following activities: installation of equipments that produces minimum or no waste, installation of equipments which produces minimum or no waste. Second point is modification of equipment, modification of equipment, modification of equipment to enhance the recovery or recycling options. That means whatever the equipments we are using now, there should be proper installation of equipments, and also there should be proper modification and maintenance of equipments, so that there is minimum amount of waste generated. The third point is about redesigning the equipment. So redesigning redesigning the equipments redesigning the equipments to produce less waste, to produce less waste. And the last point in this is improving operating efficiency of equipments, improving operating efficiency of equipments. So this is how, by the modification of equipments, we can reduce the generation, or we can prevent the generation of industrial waste. Now the remaining two activities, or the remaining two techniques, that are production process change and recycling and reuse, will be discussed in the next video.